This is Savage Insomniac Radio. Apparently, this is episode 15. So, we've had sometimes I'm going to record more often, and it'll just vary on whether or not how long it takes to get uploaded. The reason I'm going to go ahead and allow myself to record more, and regardless of how this gets uploaded and how frequently, is because I told Sarah it's possible I might not be able to record unless she steps up and takes over at those times, which is hard to say. She might if she has something she wants to talk about. I will just be sitting there, and it would be really different. You just turn that on, and you just be sitting there listening to dead silence, or the refrigerator in the case of our house, because it has a human digestive tract inside of it. I swear. Anyhow, I have deviated from the topic of today. The topic of today is connection and what I was calling separation anxiety disorder. I really didn't have any kind of DSM for that. If you don't know what the DSM is, it's this book that's diagnostic manual for like psychiatric disorders and stuff. I'm not real pro on that. I just um, when I use the word separation anxiety disorder, I don't have anything that I'm working off of when I use that. It's something that I feel I experienced and that I experienced, and that no one really understood what I was saying, and that I had experienced it before too. And so it was this feeling that I was extremely disconnected from everyone. And I tried to describe it metaphorically. I'm not really good at that sort of thing, but I said it was like a long, long cord was attached to me, and then that cord was attached to other people. But that basically they were floating or kind of not really attached. Like that connection between us was somehow not grounded and almost severed. In some cases, actually severed. And the connection was certainly weak. And what would happen is I would want to talk to people and I would want some constancy. This is what I now realize. And I think I even knew it at the time. I wanted to just be able to talk to somebody, to be connected with them, and to know we were connected. And every time I'd get on the phone, I'd have a panic attack, and I still do. I get problems just thinking about it. Talking with certain people, if your voice is a higher octave, it's harder on me. And so, um, oh God, I hope I don't forget what I was talking about, because that would be a real shame. I'll have to start all over. Um, okay, I know what my topic is though. Um, so the separation, it's been inconceivable to a lot of people. And when I've been on the phone, it's hard enough. But before the sensitivity to noise, I just was having so much panic. And when I would hang the phone up, on the phone, when people would say, I gotta go, I would feel like this viscerally disturbing response. I'd have it. And it was just like, oh, I felt like I was just gonna come undone. And my panic was so high, and I was in fight or flight. I mean, Sarah, tell you, I was probably having like really bad cortisol reactions. Like I was having adrenaline, and um, boy, probably was really taxing me out.
I'm sure it was.
And and this just went on and on from October of 2020. It actually started before October of 2020. It even went on in 2018, 2019. It kind of got a break in 2020, and then it came back, and really with full force in October of 2020. And so, um, I tried to explain it to people. I've tried to get more steady connections, and the more I've tried to get steady connections, the worse the connections have become. No offense to anyone. It's gotten more and more sketchy. It's like a puzzle that you keep losing a piece. And pretty soon, you're like, I didn't even like puzzles to start with, and now I don't even want to try a puzzle. And that's what happened to me. I just quit caring. But then I really didn't, did I? Because if I really quit caring, I wouldn't be talking about it, would I? It's probably not accurate. I think I would care, but my mind just I can't really write very many people. I'm having a hard time functioning. But in this process, I came across this person who talks online. And he his name was told to me by another person to go and listen to him and his healing talks. And I get a lot of people telling me to listen to certain things and to meditate and breathe. And I'm so tired. I don't even know what that means. I know it means to take in a breath, but it doesn't, it's not super helpful. I know it's meant to be, but it's not. Because I guess it's the best effort that can be put forth, though. So, before I get sidetracked, though, so I came there pretty open, I guess, because I don't think I mean, I lucked out. I just clicked on a link, you know. Usually that's not a good thing from your email, so don't do what I did. But I think I did that. But I had already been talking about it. Still, I'm glad I came about this. So I went to this person's page and I started listening. I was like, yeah, why am I listening to this person? Why am I watching this person meditate? Well, I don't know why, but I kept sitting there. And I finally found myself in a special program relating to this particular healing path. And it really has changed stuff for me because he is predictably there.
Yes.
He's predictably there when he didn't charge you anything.
He makes an effort.
He's predictably there when he's just going on Facebook, and I should say just. He's going on Facebook or going on YouTube, or because he's done that too, or wherever it is, I'm sure that he goes. And this is certainly in the private class that I'm in, that I know he'll be there. And if he's not there, there is a good reason that I will hear about at such time when he is able to come and tell us.
It's true.
The fact is, I see him, talk to him so much, I don't have any anxiety around him. He's stopped the separation anxiety response so far. I don't know if that's going to last, but it stopped. It just finally there's somebody in touch. That's what it took. It took someone being there. He gives talks, and just him being there, it's been predictable. It's like I have a friend. And I know that he is a person that I'm in his class. But I actually believe on some level that I am a friend to him and will be at some point. That stuff builds. Like that grows. You don't just get, to click with somebody. You have to actually work at that. You have to hang around. But I will say that it has stopped the separation anxiety in me that was so strong. And I hope it's going to stick. It's really one of the worst feelings I've ever had. It is one of the things that I knew that I had something new going on in town, or at least a resurgence of the old and new coming together with COVID there in 2020, October of 2020, or potentially even August of 2020, when my symptoms all reared their ugly head again, and the worst feeling I had was panic, anxiety, and separation anxiety disorder, what I termed separation anxiety disorder. I told my daughter I had that. And I likened it to a little baby, a little toddler. Babies, when you go around the corner, when you turn the corner, they think you're gone. And until you show yourself again, they don't have that sense of object constancy. I'm not sure I got the word right, but it's object consistency, or knowing that something is going to be there. And I lost that sense that people were going to be there. And that had happened to me before in a very severe, disturbing, and profound way that I cannot describe because it will hurt me to my core of my very being if I do so. Maybe another time. But, don't think it's a good human response to feel unconnected. And here's the way to that I think that people can be more connected. And this is going to take some work too. So if you're like tied to electronic devices, it's going to take you a lot of work. If you have an iPhone, I don't even know how to help you. Because you have to have commitment. And if you're exclusive and you're sitting there with your iPhone, I don't know. I don't know if I can help you. I hope so, because I'm getting an iPhone. So maybe I can help you. So the commitment it takes is actually reaching out and being in touch on a daily basis. It takes taking that extra minute to send a meaningful text that says something about your day. Hopefully you connect by phone or you use those audio messages on whatever social media app you can tolerate. Yep, I'm down to the word tolerate. If you cannot do that, then you make a deal with me or I send you audios or you send me audios. If you can't tolerate my audio, I will send you texts. But that is how people keep in human contact, is to try to do so in a regular way, a predictable way. And that predictability brings about social rest. We hear a lot about social unrest. Predictability in human interaction can sometimes be boring, but it can sometimes be necessarily monotonous. And when you get in touch with your friends every day, you have to touch base with them, not just in a chit chat sort of way, but actually touch base with them and say, "Hi, how you doing? How are you?" Even if you can't, that's sometimes it's a loaded question, I know, but you can say, "I'm thinking of you, and here's what's going on in my life," or some one thing that's going on in my life. And sometimes you can't write a lot because your hands hurt. And when you make commitments, you follow through with them. You don't make a commitment. If you can't follow through, then you do what I call fly by the seat of your pants, and you just show up and do the pop-in call. You call until you get a hold of, say, a person like me. You don't commit. The reason why is that it's just too hard on me anymore. I won't even let someone commit. If somebody tries to commit to me, I'm going to say, "Nope, you can't not call me. Not that way. I will not make a date with you." You may feel cut off. You may feel weird. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I have been disappointed too many times. So it's not going to happen. So I know it's supposed to be like a radio show, but at the same time, I mean, come on. Like, I'm sitting here talking and I'm giving advice. So I am going to say how I am reacting to things and what would help and what's not helping. So I hope that people will join me though, and because it's not everyone's going to know me and not everyone's going to be talking to me, and some people are already going to be talking to me more who are listening to this, maybe this doesn't even apply anymore. But it does apply to the rest of people who are listening. If you are a person who's glued to your computer, you're glued to your phone, you certainly wouldn't be that much different than I am, because I have it sitting in front of me a lot. But you have to at least use the device wisely. Check in with people. Try to use your voice, your actual voice. People aren't actually stopping talking. It's concerning. I have to tell you, I didn't talk a lot as a kid. I mean, I did and I didn't. I was like overly verbose, and then people didn't like that about me, and so they would. I don't know why not. Maybe it was too much for them, and so they would like make me feel bad about it, and then I would withdraw and become reclusive, and it led to a lot of crying, and eventually at school I just hung out by myself and basically hung out outside the cafeteria, outside the double doors. It was sad. It was super sad. And so I didn't talk tons after a point. I think I was about 15, and I was like, I had enough talking. I did enough. And then I left school. I think I was 15 or 16. I left school. Went to college. I I continued to talk though, but less people. There's select people. But I have always been intimately involved with other people. I contact people. I write people. I call people. I can do that for years, decades. I can still remember your number. That's why I won't be giving any of my friends' numbers online. But their family still has the same phone number. Some of them, a couple of them. One of them just lost their number, so now I can say it all I want. It's over. This number that meant so much to everyone, but it will always be there in my memory. So one thing I can say is I'm very good at communication and reaching out to people. Probably to a fault, though. Because at some point people have to reach out, and I hope that people will start to reach out. Not just to me, but also to each other. Use your voice, write, pick up a pen, maybe not literally because it could be painful, but use your keyboard or your voice speech recognition, whatever, and put down your thoughts, man, because, and put them, get them out there to other people, connect, because connection is where human beings thrive. They do not thrive in isolation. I have a video of the plants, which I bought, I believe, in early 2020, maybe late 2019, but it would be the earliest, late 2019. The plants, I'm sorry, the one plant we believe maybe stopped its own life. We're not sure, but it certainly gave up. The other plant is alive, but it's not thriving. It's not happy. We think the dirt is bad, but we also think the plant isn't doing well, so we're going to try to transplant it. Oh, the other one, we have to do something with it right away. It's the it's the one in the other room. The bamboo. This bamboo is just a couple of stalks left. It won't be here anymore. It's what this pandemic did to this plant. It just is so stuck in this container with us. And now we're just emerging from the abyss, though, because of one person. And that's what this was about. So I want to at least remind myself what this was about. It was about this one person stopping that. But it has been tough. I mean, I'd like to show. I do want to show. I'll try to upload the video because if nothing else, I mean, it's kind of humorous. And that know that the couple plants that are left are probably they're gonna make it. That's the good ending that you probably were waiting for, because you're probably, if anyone's really upset by plants or maybe they just are bored out of their mind, they're like, oh, what? At least there's a point. Cheryl's plants are gonna make it. Okay, I'm sorry if it was too personal. But that's going to happen almost all the time. Okay, until next time, thank you for joining.